Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to the SHEnanigans podcast, where we bring the human back to small business. And because we can have conversations that are serious anytime, SHEnanigans is happily supported by the good people at WCTV here in Wadsworth, Ohio. I'm Jenny, and my first guest is overdue on receiving his flowers. He's a husband, a father, a soccer coach, finisher of all my crafty ideas, and he wears all the hats that keep my small business and our home a sane place to live. Please welcome the reason I moved to this town, my husband, Jeremy.
Hey, hey, let's chat away. Small towns, big dreams in the fray. Grab a seat, come on, stay. Community shines bright today.
Hi.
What's up?
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do, let me take these off because I don't want to hear myself. Okay. We're going to make that decision.
First off, I like your shirt.
Thank you. Jet liked it too.
Somebody told me to tell you this.
No one knows what that means.
Well, we'll see.
Did he talk about that on the way to school?
No, I told him I was going to do it.
No!
Yeah.
That's awkward. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to do to make it less awkward was to have the candy dish.
One of the one.
To like an icebreaker. So you get to be the first one that opens up the lettuce bowl.
Okay.
And inside is candy, and I didn't show you any of the candy that's in there.
Okay. Do
So you get to pick.
Do you want to pick? I'd prefer you pick.
The guest picks, and then whatever you get, I get the opposite of. It's just an icebreaker before we start having a conversation.
opposite of,
Some
huh?
podcasts do like bourbon, but I didn't want to do that at 9 a.m. This is like a really bad start to the end of the week. And I didn't tell you, so this is from
is
Sweets on
packed.
High, and here in town in Wadsworth. She is sponsoring the candy bowl.
I'm just going to do the same thing.
Okay, we are. Oh, you know I hate slimy stuff. And
And sour.
the candy, yes, the candy dish is from Ruby Moon. She loaned it to me from her actual
I like the
house. I know.
That's pretty cool.
So we don't need scissors, I hope, because
Nope.
I'm not prepared for that.
Then snap to open.
Where? Bend. Bend and snap. Okay,
Hey, look, I'm here.
can you do mine?
Yeah. Here, I did it for you.
Okay, thanks. We'll go on 3. I really hate sour stuff. Okay, so cheers to the start of a great podcast. Thanks. All right.
To the start of many great
Are you going to do the whole thing?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, it's not too bad. That's very sugary, though. You don't like it? No? You've had... Yes. I only did a little bit. Why did you do that whole thing?
You said we were going to. I thought you just asked me, and I said, yeah.
I wasn't...
Yeah. That's weird. Not really sour.
No, it's just like a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it tastes like a melted gummy bear.
I feel like that's the worst part about getting old. You can like separate the sugar in your mouth from the flavor of the candy.
I wouldn't know.
About being old?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to give you your flowers.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to come with slime liquor drops, but I appreciate it regardless.
Do you remember the day I got fired?
I do.
What do you remember? Because I tell the story all the time. I tell that story all the time, and people really like the story.
You,
Wait, and I just want to make sure I remember, or I want to make sure I've been telling it right for 6 years. So here is the actual chance to make sure I've been telling it right from your point of view.
I was at work.
Yeah.
I think I had a missed call, and then you text me, call me 911, then text me again, call me 911. So I go back in the office and call you, and you're in tears. And you're like, oh my God, I just got fired. And I was like, what? And you're like, oh yeah, I just got, they just fired me because you were doing something.
I love that our emotions are totally different. I'm laughing about it.
No, you were crying.
I mean, in this moment.
Oh yeah.
I've told it so
yeah.
many times. I'm sorry. I'm laughing.
Oh yeah.
Like it's funny
No,
now.
you were legitimately shook.
Okay, I'll quit.
And I was like,
interrupting.
So what? And you're like, what do you mean, so what? And I was like, so what? Like, and then you kept crying, and I kept laughing because
That's what you do.
yeah. And so what, right? I mean, you were
And so what?
yeah, you were names not mentioned.
Thank
You
you.
were not getting fully compensated or appreciated for the work you were doing.
Correct.
And this was a great opportunity to bust out. And we always talked about you starting your own business.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, well, now's
Must
the
have been
time.
that 9 a.m. bourbon.
Yeah. Or the slime liquor drops.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. No, and you were like, what are we going to do? And I was like, we'll be fine. Like, now's the time to start your own business. And you were crying, and I was laughing, because that's what we do, right? That's kind of our MO, right?
Or if you're crying,
So-
I'm laughing.
Correct.
But very little.
As you should be, yeah. yeah. But yeah, that was the because we had talked about you starting your own business before.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was always the goal, at least I thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
But
don't remember
We got
any of
we
that.
had a little subtle push there
Yeah.
to go into that.
I don't
and,
remember any conversations about
really?
starting a business.
Yeah.
No.
No, that was always a thing. When you
Did we
first
talk
started.
about names? Did we talk about anything? did we?
Names? Oh, no, absolutely not.
Oh.
No.
I don't remember
But when you
any
were
of
starting
that.
to like freelance and stuff.
Did we talk all the way on the drive home? Because I knew where I was at Cool Beans in Medina.
I don't think we talked on the drive
Did
home
I
because I was
leave
at
you?
work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I
I called
left.
you from work.
So
Yeah.
I just panicked, drove all the way home.
Probably.
Do you remember the gap between me do you remember me going on the run and like creating She Did It as I ran?
I do.
Was that the same
Unfortunately-
day?
Unfortunately, I was not able to make that 8-mile run.
It was 9.
I wanted to be there. Yes.
It was 9. Sorry.
Well, I
on the
probably
wrong.
only made 8, but
Yeah.
I wanted to be there, but I wasn't invited. So
Oh.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
do because we started, and
Was-
I could think of no good names at all. And then you just came back from
That
the
wasn't.
run
What was the gap between the conversation
Oh.
and the?
from when you got fired.
Yeah. Do you know from that day? Because you probably at this time. Let's remember, you're working doubles,
Sure.
multiple days,
Sure.
like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Me and Jet like never saw you.
Yes.
So let's not forget to also give you your
Things made me
flowers.
feel great.
We didn't. It was like we
Yeah, well-
lived for Saturday and
Yeah.
part of Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're like, Dad's home.
We were down to one income. What do you want me to do? No.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a gap. Well,
I don't know. I feel like it's a month and a half, maybe 2.
Because I
you were already freelancing.
yes.
'Cause you did some
which
stuff
is what got
downtown.
me in trouble.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a hand movement there that I could hold back.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and that was in the summer. Mm-hmm. And you didn't register She Did It until August.
August. Because I
So
did.
I feel like it was like a month and a half.
Do you remember when I went on the interview
I
with
do.
the men
Yes.
who sat? Do you remember that?
They said they would not hire you because you're a mother
Yeah.
and you could not do a good job.
Is that funny?
Because that's what I the entire time we talked about, whether you remember or not, we talked about you starting your own business,
Yeah.
and you should have, and you needed to.
A long time before I did.
Well, at any time,
Yeah.
but working in one of these places would not have been good for you,
No.
right?
Well,
Not-
in
you-
hindsight, we
Well, don't be a caged bird, right?
correct. That would have
And
just.
you would have been. It would have been. I mean, it would have been a paycheck.
Yeah.
You would have been happy. You would have been able to be creative. Where do you learn that? So I'm glad the interviews didn't work,
Yeah.
but I understand the pressure because we're now down to one income.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
money needs to be made.
Dang, calm down.
I'm just saying. I mean, no, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I understand the pressure from you.
Yes.
You're like, I don't have a job. I need to get a job.
Well, and we.
But we held out until you were able to
Yeah.
build up your thing.
And we talk about this all the time is that you're raised to like you're supposed to have the 9 to 5. I didn't know anybody that had a small business. We were like, I don't know what to do.
And it was never even, and that's funny because that's one of the things I was going to bring up is when we were in school, you were told when you graduate, you go to college. and then you get a degree, and then you get a job making good money, and then you're set. I went to college.
Me too.
I got a degree.
Right? And that's not what you wanted.
No, I'd have been miserable. It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the absolute opposite of what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I appreciate, that with Jet, he gets to see that there are other options out there.
Yeah.
If he wants to go to college, absolutely.
Yeah. We're pretty good at talking about
But if you don't,
trades.
you have to have a plan.
You could be a trade. You have to have a
You
plan.
have to have a plan. I don't care what it is, but start your own business or do whatever you want. You have options.
Yeah.
But we were always told, just growing up, you go to college, that's what you do.
Yeah. You had no choice.
Yeah, you get it. Well, I mean,
No. Remember, I told you. I was tricked.
yeah,
I instinctively, what's the word? I remember, forget
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Austin, social studies in 6th grade, and he was asking what everybody, I think it was 6th grade, he was asking what everybody's plans were. I can almost picture him. He looked like,
I'm 11. What do you mean was my
was
plan?
it William H. Macy? Is that the guy from the Bad Dad, the show? Okay. He looked just like
Shameless.
him. And he had a handlebar mustache, and he really loved boats.
Yeah.
I don't know why. All those things I remember. But he asked everybody to like raise their hand and say who was going to college.
Yeah.
And I remember like looking around, and that was the first time I was like, you're allowed to not go. And I raised my hand and said embarrassingly in the class,
Yeah. You're going.
I thought that you had to go to college. And
Yeah.
everyone laughed at me.
Yeah.
So anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Oh, I don't
Sorry.
know. That's all right.
That's what I do
Yeah. I know.
often.
Yeah. Just the, I don't know. You starting the business.
Oh, yeah.
And being, breaking the trend of
Yeah.
what you do after school is you
Yeah.
go to college, you get more school, then you get your degree, and then you work a 9 to 5 for 40 years, and then you die.
Then you die.
Well, I
do you
mean-
remember what? Do you remember when? Okay, so the firing happened, and then there were a couple of interviews and the crappy people, and
No.
then I went for the run. I think at the end of it, didn't I call you? And I was totally lost. I also tell people this. Wasn't I lost because I'm not
There's a
directionally a
handful
great
of runs
person?
that happened on. I'm not sure if it happened on this one.
Oh,
but
there were
yes.
more runs?
Yes,
The
'cause
whole-
you
that
would
whole
just
span-
run. You'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, I've been running for 2 hours. I'm here. I'm like, well,
I am
well, you're not
really
close
bad
to
at
home.
directions, yes. I'm in Wadsworth, and there
Yeah.
are train tracks, and I didn't even
Yeah.
know you guys had train tracks. Do
With
you
the
remember?
ghost train?
Huh?
With the ghost train?
It is a real train. I've heard it, and I've seen it
Yeah.
while I'm eating down at the south end.
I hear you.
You have problems because you have not, and you've lived here your whole life.
I've seen it. I just like messing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. 15 years later. Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you remember me asking you, like in a panic, okay, if I do this, how much time do I have?
Yeah, I said 3 months.
Yeah. And do you remember, what did you do in that time?
Worked. What do you mean? What I
No,
did
you
that time?
didn't. No, you didn't.
What do you mean?
You like drastically changed your whole entire life from what I've known you
For what?
for your hours.
Not in that 3 months. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
We're having a
I
dispute.
promise. Yeah.
Well, I remember
I'll
that
ring
you
Dr.
did.
Phil in right now.
I had a lot of coffees. Do you remember when you did all that? You went through all the receipts, and
Yes.
that was the big joke. That's
But that was
basically
that
what
was,
I'm trying to get at.
That was a whole year. In the 3 months into
Yeah.
building up to She Did It,
Yeah.
I said I can hang for 3 months at least. We'll figure it out.
Oh, so we're telling it different. You're saying
Yes.
you can hang.
For 3 months.
Like, I got
You don't
this.
need to do anything
We're
for 3
good.
months. Yes.
Try to figure out your life.
But come 3 months.
Oh, so I've been telling it
I'm
wrong.
gonna-
See,
oh,
this is
yeah.
why I'm asking you, because I've been telling everybody the
No,
story. I need to make
said-
sure I got it right.
No, I said we can hang for 3 months. And then you might have to get a
You might have to
retail
go
gig
somewhere.
or something and at least get a paycheck.
I've
but-
been telling it wrong. I've been telling it as you went on, like, not a hiatus, but you, like, drastically. Okay,
Oh,
so.
no, we,
Okay.
no,
So-
absolutely not.
It's been such a whirlwind in 6
Yeah,
years. This
yeah.
is the first year where I feel like I can physically and emotionally and mentally remember things
Break it down.
that I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
That's why I'm asking, are
Yeah.
we on the right track with the story? So then I was going to ask you, like, what was the timeline of you? Because basically what I'm trying to get at is, like, you keep us afloat. Not only do you put salt down when it's icy, you make breakfast, you make sure I eat, you make fun of me when I when it takes me 6 hours to eat,
Correct.
you fill up my water and my coffee. And I want to, because we talk about this at home, because no one talks about other dads or husbands that do that.
Yeah. I'm the only one. The one right here.
Yeah. So, and I think that is a huge misconception. I think, just in general, that we have some other story going on.
Yeah.
And we're actually pretty cozy and you're pretty happy. So I just wanted to talk about.
I make a good breakfast.
You make a great breakfast. You've perfected the potatoes. So I just wanted to talk about, do you remember, like, all of a sudden you weren't doing doubles 7 days a week?
Not really.
It was just
I mean,
slow.
I know it started to get, because obviously we got into soccer.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Shocker. But I wasn't coaching for,
No, not
through
yet.
rec for a good bit. But
Until the soccer soul inside of you was like, I need to help.
because the volunteer coach that was coaching, no shade, but I thought he could do a better job.
And you wanted to do that.
Well, and if I can judge him, I have to be able to kick in, right?
Yes, correct.
So I don't get to judge you if I'm not willing to step in.
Correct.
So that's when we
Ooh,
stepped
write
in.
that down.
Yeah, I already did. That's in my notes, and I'm kidding. So, and then once practices were 2-3 nights a week, that changed it a little bit.
Yes.
But I mean, it was probably 3 years ago, I guess.
Fully 3 years ago, you think?
Yeah.
I'd say it's been longer than
You
that.
think so?
I'd say
Maybe 4?
maybe when, well, how old's Jet? Kindergarten, first grade? Is that 3 years?
First is 3.
I have a math allergy, so
Yeah.
I don't do numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what that's also when you were not starting, but you were progressing in your business.
Yeah.
So it was afforded to me to be able to take this option, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I can make you breakfast and walk him to school and
Yeah.
go to practice.
Because very rapidly, she did it. I mean, not by accident.
Not
but
very. I mean, once it took off, but
yeah.
and you mentioned earlier. Sorry to go back. Your first year, when we were doing taxes, you had more receipts for coffee than there were days in the year. And that's
Yes.
not true.
Yes, I
I mean,
know.
there was
Yes.
multiple days you had coffee with 2 different people at 2 different places.
I do
That was
tell
a wild
people
year.
that.
Yeah, that was a
That's like
wild
my
year.
number one advice. If somebody is getting started into business,
Yeah.
I tell them multiple things, but one of them is like dive into your community, and
Yeah.
the other one is make sure you do a lot of coffees.
You said yes to everybody.
I did.
Yeah.
That was
everybody
like
and
yes year.
everything for yeah, it was. And it was a wild year. But it worked out. He did fantastic, but
That was the other thing that that I wanted to talk to you about is that, like, you probably know me better. You do know me better actually than I know myself. That you're the only one that has full behind the scenes access into, like, She Did It, the building of it, what happens on a day-to-day basis.
I'm intrigued to see where this goes, but yes.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
on a day-to-day basis. And I don't know. I guess, are you able to see the outside of it? Does it also look like it's just really easy and then I'm on the internet all day just posting on Instagram and Facebook?
I don't want to
do you-
say easy, but it seems very free from the outside.
Yeah.
But that's also what's funny, because we appreciate what you do. But there are times you won't get up from your desk, and I'll make you breakfast at 9, and I'll come in at 1:30, and you've taken 2 bites.
Yeah. And you
So,
make
like,
fun
can
of
you
me
please eat? Yes. There's no,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the behind the scenes that people don't see, and they're
Yeah.
not going to, and that's okay. That's perfect.
No, yeah.
But you make it look extremely, not easy, but just free.
Yeah.
It just seems to come off natural, but it's not. it's a
No.
lot of work. But
Yeah. Well, no, and I wanted to ask you because I don't even know some of the things that I'm doing that people wouldn't even realize. Like, what am I doing that no one realizes?
I go-
Toot my horn.
I go to work and people are like, "Oh, what's Jen doing?" I was like, Psh, She's just at home doing nothing. I don't know.
The
No, I'm
dishes.
kidding.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't do the dishes,
Yeah,
just so you know.
facts.
Yeah.
No,
That was a line we drew very early on. Let's just make it publicly
Yeah,
clear. I don't dish,
Yeah.
you don't laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not allowed to laundry.
You're, yeah, actually, I took that ability away from you. Yeah. So what do I do that might shock people? I'm just curious. I want to hear what you say. We talk about this all the time. This isn't the first time.
Just and one of the benefits of having your own business is you kind of get to make your own schedule, right? Which means there are opportunities you get to go play, you get to go travel, but there are also times you get up at 4 a.m. and work till 9 at night.
Yeah.
And so that's, I mean, I don't want to say it's bad because you do what you got to do. But you don't see that part, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, we're traveling here and there, and here's this video. It's like, well, I just put 16 hours in today on this video.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. And also, you have to do this while I'm in the other room trying to talk to you the whole time.
Correct.
I'm editing. Hey, did you see this? I'm editing.
Like, what was it yesterday? You and Jet were
Probably.
having full-on conversation
Yeah.
about
Oh.
something that happened on the playground or whatever kid
He's
did
louder
whatever.
than me. But
Yeah, and you're like right in my ear, and I'm like, hello, you guys are in the office, and I'm trying to edit audio.
we should have kept the door full-sized.
We should have, but it's a cool door.
It is.
If no one's seen it,
Yeah.
it looks like the Disney castle.
It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool.
knocked that one out of the
took you a long time.
I knocked that one out of the
See, and in my intro, it says crafty ideas. I don't know if that was my idea. I think you just
It
ran.
was not.
You ran with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
You wanted to work with that was a great idea. I don't know that one hit from. I had to grit it out and everything. That was nice.
Those early job
yeah.
skills.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Jeremy
But also
used to build
the-
houses.
I've built houses before.
I know. What is your? Give me the Rolodex. What's your What are your credentials? What's your resume look like?
That because you do what you do,
Yeah.
I'm able to do probably like 3 of my favorite hobbies,
Yeah.
which is soccer, cooking, and building stuff.
Building is a hobby. You would call
your
that
projects,
a hobby?
your
my
projects,
okay.
yeah, your projects.
Babe,
Yeah.
I need a 17th bookshelf
There's
over the bathroom floating.
I wish we had a picture of the scroll. We have a 3-foot by 10-foot scroll on our wall of projects to do.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
It's real.
It's a
not
real thing. It doesn't get crossed off as much, but
It's winter.
Hey.
It gets cold outside.
don't let me call you out on those
so
things that
right.
haven't been done yet. We got to move some stuff around.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my 14th bookshelf.
I know.
You thought I was joking. Floating
Oh, I'm not.
over.
I know.
the
I'm very well
bathroom.
aware you're not.
Okay, so anything else? So then I guess I'll ask you, because I sort of just had a brain fart, if I'm being honest, and I don't know where to go from here.
So what are you gonna ask me?
So what part did she did it, like what part did it feel like okay? Because it really didn't feel okay to me until
Last week.
No.
No.
It didn't feel okay, honestly, until, so the first year, do you remember when I took the month of June off? When I was like, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to take the whole month of June off because
Was
June's
that the
already.
second, or was that the?
Yeah, this will be the third time.
No, but I mean, you started in August. You didn't take the next June off, right? It was a June
No,
after.
it was 3. This will be the third year.
Okay,
So it was 3
okay.
years ago. But I said, things at school are ramping up, Jet's in activities, even though he only does soccer, but it's
Yeah.
like a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just see what happens if I take the month off. And that was horrifying to do. Do you remember me thinking that was horrifying? Because I
Yeah, you
don't,
were a little cautious about it.
I don't
You
think
didn't feel comfortable about
was
it.
she did it like in your perspective, I guess. I guess I'm just trying to get my memories back. In your perspective, was she did it like we're cozy, we're comfy? And I'm not saying we're cozy and comfy. Anything could happen at any point in time.
We were on our way to cozy and comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we were there yet,
Yeah.
but it's also setting the precedent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Balancing family and your job and
Mm-hmm.
free time and stuff. So I don't think we were there. I don't think we were not there. We were close, but the first year I wouldn't have said we were cozy and comfy.
Ready to do it. Year 2.
But it was one of
ready
those
to
like see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
I basically just panicked for a month straight. I just did. I was like, I don't know.
You took a month off to panic?
Yes.
Sit there and panic?
Yes, but also like
That's a poor use of a month off.
so well, it's been like 16 years I think I've been doing this, back when I worked for somebody else.
Yeah.
And you know, that ability to stay home and you're just like free. You don't
Yeah.
have a boss. You don't have to clock in anywhere.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to work at a hospital, so that was like, sometimes I'd go in at midnight and feed ice cream to the doctors and all that crazy stuff we talked about.
Did you feed it to them?
Yes.
Did you get tipped for that?
No,
Oh.
they were not happy.
Well, probably because you were feeding them ice cream.
I mean, they were doing surgeries and taking care of people, and I mean,
You were feeding them ice cream.
oh, haha.
That's all I was going with there.
Good joke. Phew. That one didn't land. Dad joke. But so last year when I took June off, that was a little bit cozier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I try to, so this year when I do it, and I try to help small businesses when I talk to them because they just think it's like jaw dropping and awesome. And I understand everybody can't do it because all small businesses have their different peaks and valleys. But
And you're not a brick and mortar, so you're not retail.
No.
So it's not you're depending on sales. You can plan accordingly and have it scheduled out.
correct. Yeah. But I love that June off. It's
You should make that a word. June off.
June off.
Yeah.
I love that June off
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
It's hard to come back.
Yeah.
But then when I come back, I'm like, coffee,
Yeah.
coffee pot full.
Yeah.
I got ideas.
Well, and that's good too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it recharges you, and you're a very creative person. So you
How
can't.
did you know?
Yeah, shocker. Yeah. I wish
Yeah.
had I known you in high school, I'd had you write all my papers.
We wouldn't have been very good friends.
No, we wouldn't have.
We wouldn't have got along.
No, well,
Yeah.
you have that.
Yeah. Which we also talk about a lot too.
Yeah.
It would be fun to know you back then, but we
would-
wouldn't have.
It would be fun to look back on what would have been without it actually happening.
Yeah, if we could like hover over top
Yeah.
of each other, like passing each other
Different
in the
universe
hallway.
and just watch it like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yep. That's
Yeah.
where
So I would
could have saw that one coming.
That guy's so annoying.
Yeah, well,
He thinks he's funny, but he's not. He
I
has
feel
all
like
these
I've heard that
jokes.
recently. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Still saying that.
Yeah,
But you're tolerable. You're
Yep.
welcome.
I'll try to be tolerable.
Yeah.
That's right, brother.
So now I have all these ideas, and now we're doing a podcast, and things feel easier to do. Do things feel smoother in the house now? As a business owner, dad man, we'll give that as your official title.
Thanks.
Businessman, dad man.
BODM.
Sure, I'll make you a shirt. I know a lady.
Dennis or Dad Man. I never really questioned it. I always knew it would work or it could work. I was never nervous about it.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, you'd already been doing it for
Yeah.
quite a bit, and the place you were at, you weren't allowed to be you, right? You were very structured.
I
this,
didn't
that,
even
the other.
know I was me, and
Well-
she did it unleashed.
Well, but I mean, there were hints in the videos you used to do, to where you'd be like, "Oh, this is awesome," and then they would just shut it down. Like, "No, we wanted this, this, and this. We want."
Do you remember a specific one? I want to see.
Yeah, her skin is too yellow. That's the one that drives me nuts.
Her
I lost
skin
my
is
mind. I'd have
too
quit
yellow.
right there. But
Yeah.
you're better
I
than
thought
me.
you were going to bring up Shinto. Do you remember sitting at the
Ting,
table?
ting, ting. Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the best videos you did. But
Yeah.
It was, you were still limited on your creativity on this.
Yeah.
So I always knew it would work, and that's what worried me when you were taking interviews at places.
Man,
Like,
you didn't say anything out loud?
what do you want me to do?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
What would you have said?
Quit.
I probably would have cried. It's fine.
Yeah,
I would have got
probably.
nervous. I'm a nervous person.
And well,
Agree or disagree?
And yeah, absolutely. But also when you take interviews, you always go into an interview saying, "Yeah, I want this job." Mm-hmm. And then as you're taking the interview, you're like, "I don't want this job.
Yeah.
This sounds terrible. It's a job, but I don't want it. I have to pretend like I want it, but I don't want it." I always knew you'd be all right.
Yeah.
But you kind of need that to push you sometimes. Like, You know what helps you start your own business? Going to a bunch of terrible job interviews where they don't respect you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I can tell you whatever you want, but if other people make you feel slighted, that's kind of,
Yeah.
thump on your chest type deal. She did it.
Jets, and we talk also about how hard it is that, oh, Jetty, he thinks that, we remember the other day when we were like, you didn't even see the grind. You don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
At one
He just
point,
thinks,
you had
yeah.
7 jobs. I had 42.
Yeah.
Well, you had more than me, always.
Yeah. Well,
Not when we were together, but we just always talk about, like,
yeah.
I worked at Pizza Hut. I was really not meant for that.
Yeah.
I worked at a
And
movie
that's-
theater. Shocking. That was awesome.
And that's the one,
Yeah.
that's the one thing that, like, because I want him to see you being successful and having your own business. But also, he was pretty young to see the work that went into that. But
Yeah.
also the work building up to that.
Yeah.
Like, we used to work 7 days a week,
Oh.
right? Doubles all the time.
Yeah.
We'd get home at 8, 10 o'clock, leave at 7 in the morning. That's just what you did. And then that kind of pushes you to go towards something else. But I'm afraid he's like this is just easy. I'll just
This is
start a
so
business.
easy.
And maybe it is for him.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
we
still,
have to. We do tell them all the time, like, you have no idea how good you have it. You have
Oh.
friends whose they don't see their parents.
Yeah.
They're asleep, or
Yeah.
they have to stay over at Grizzly.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Bear Club?
Yeah.
Bear Cub?
So we do have those conversations with him, but I am nervous that he's not going to see, because I saw work ethic, and you did too.
Yeah.
In our parents.
Yeah.
So for him, that's the one thing that makes me nervous, is
Yeah.
that he's going to be like, oh, I can just have a business. And
Yeah.
you're right, he might be great at it.
And he could. And he's pretty good about stuff. Like,
He is.
He doesn't
But I,
say it out loud.
yeah,
But if he puts his mind to something, he's going to do it.
yeah,
But same thing, like, when I was a kid, by the time I woke up in the morning, my dad was already gone for work. I made a Pop-Tart and an instant breakfast drink.
yeah, and you're beating Jet.
And then,
He's
yeah.
not even doing that for himself.
Well, that's my choice, yes.
Yes, he is the prince
But
of the
then
house.
then I would get home, and my mom wouldn't go home for 3 hours after I got home. So it was like,
Yeah.
I only saw both my parents in the house for maybe 2-3 hours a day.
Yeah. I don't even remember I don't remember really my dad in the house.
Yeah,
I just remember he worked.
yeah,
And take your daughter to work day
yeah.
was like cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, especially the factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got all
That's
kinds of weird
perfect.
cool stuff.
I
Probably
bet
pumped
you
full of
did.
chemicals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably got
Yeah.
a lot of candy and stuff though.
No.
No,
No. Where's he getting candy from?
I just meant all the other dudes.
What
Nobody's
other
kicking
dudes?
in. He didn't work there by himself, right?
Yeah, but they're not talking to me.
Oh,
No.
I don't know. I just assume. I'm thinking of, like, when you're selling candy bars for
Oh.
baseball or magazines or whatever. I'm just thinking
Correct.
that if I have a Snickers in
Yes.
my lunchbox and somebody brings their kid to work, I'm
Yeah.
like, here you go to Snickers.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all.
Yeah. Remember the box with the,
Yeah, with the handle?
I was always the #1 top seller, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Me too.
Yeah, because Dad worked in a factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
That was
always
the-
nervous that Jet's
that
not
was the-
going to see that or know it, but
And
he'll
that's
be
all right.
okay. But we do talk to him. We're good about it. We're like, you can do these things.
Also,
Or-
you can hear. Sorry to cut you off. But we can say whatever we want. You still have to learn for yourself, right? So there will be a time he'll be like, "Oh, this isn't as easy as it looks," or
Yeah.
that thing. And he'll be all right. He'll figure it out.
No,
But-
and we also do a really great job of, like, trying to make him a better student than we were. So he has a really good work ethic, and he gets his stuff done.
I
and
was
he-
merit roll for one semester, one grading period.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
yeah.
No, he's good about
And
it.
then what happened?
Well, no, it's what happened before that. That was senior year when I finally hit that.
Yeah.
I had 2 study halls.
Yeah.
That helped.
Well, yeah, you're also like smart and bored, so
Yeah.
thank you for that, by the way.
He-
Now we have a genius child who's
He,
super artsy and strange.
No, he's very proud of it, though. He's
Yeah.
proud of his work. He takes pride in it, which I never did.
No,
I didn't
yeah.
care. But he wants to be the man, so to say. He wants to be the top scorer So
Uh-huh.
he gets it.
Yeah.
He's got
no,
good pride.
We're lucky. I know. I just,
Yeah.
get a little nervous. But he's going to be on the podcast.
All good questions. Jot these down.
I asked him if he was ready. And he said, I thought about it.
Yeah.
And I
He
told
is.
you
You
last
know he
night,
is.
I said, can we please talk about recess drama? And
Yeah.
he was like, no. He was very serious.
Yeah.
No.
Just tell him change the names.
No, but you could talk to him about that. I would really love, I don't know. We'll
He'll
see.
give you a
what-
little something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Is there anything you feel, I always ask this when I'm doing what?
No, I was repeating it as you're about to kick me off.
Oh, yeah, bye, you gotta go. When I'm filming an interview, I always say, is there anything you feel like you need to say that you didn't say?
I do.
Uh-oh.
This is a big one. Get ready.
I'm
No,
scared.
I'm just kidding.
I'm actually scared. It's either a dad
What-
joke or you're
No, it's
gonna
not
make
that.
me cry.
No, it's not. It's not.
Or make yourself cry. Which I noticed started happening as you creep into your 40s. The tears, they
I'm
come.
emotional now.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I've been holding him in for 40 years. They gotta come out sometime.
Oh, we're so emotional.
What was your thought when we first moved to Wadsworth? Because you're a park kid,
I
right.
am. Thank you for, yeah.
right? And that was
Oh, I
never.
did
And
not.
we were trying to. Well, not we. You wanted to buy a house in Firestone Park and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of
You said.
pulled you this way by the apartment. Well, we had the apartment 1st, but we weren't. You know, what I mean, it's not like we were hanging out in Wadsworth there. We were still working all the time. We had the apartment, and then once we started looking at houses, and the house we ended up buying, the first time we looked at, you're like, I hate this house more than anything. Like
Before
no.
we bought it, I didn't even want to look
absolutely
inside
not.
it.
Yeah. So how do you feel now about your transition to Wadsworth? Because right now, I've lived here almost my whole life, and 10 to 1 people that I know.
I know.
So how was that?
And when I met
how
you,
was that
that
transition
your
to you?
favorite thing or your least favorite thing?
Well, that's because you knew people in
Yeah.
Firestone Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not new people much.
Well, I know when we first bought the house, I remember driving up the road and seeing the Strand and just being like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I want to know the people that run this town someday.
Yeah.
And that was just a passing thought.
Yeah.
And then we lived in the house before we got married, and then we ended up getting married in the Strand,
Where my dad used to work as a kid.
where your dad used to work as a kid. This is all this
generations
Wadsworthian,
deep, yeah.
this thing. Yes, Jet is the 4th or 5th generation to go
At
to
least
Isham.
4th, maybe 5th.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I'm a part of this whole
Yeah.
succubus of
Yeah.
Wadsworth and
Yeah.
everybody, connected. And,
Yeah.
then we got married at the Strand, which is now Dolce, so it's cool to go in Dolce and
Like,
be
here's
like...
where we stood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we were the last wedding, actually, in the Strand.
Yeah.
Because
We
those who will not be named
Yes.
were not very nice to the
Yes.
physical building. That
Yes.
wasn't us, by the way.
correct.
I just remember having that thought, just driving up College Street and just seeing the Strand and things and being like, oh, this feels more reachable than Akron,
Yeah.
where it's like, what pocket of Akron?
Correct.
Montrose,
Yeah.
Fair Lawn.
Yeah, yeah. You almost
know.
have your boroughs of Akron,
Yeah. I mean, you literally, we would go to Giant Eagle and I would see 87 people and you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get some ketchup
That's
and
just a
some hot dog buns.
precursor to your
Yeah.
life, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and then it just really kind of accidentally started happening. I don't even know. I just started
And-
volunteering, and then I knew people, and I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was more interesting than you and your parents do, how intertwined everybody is.
Oh. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
and
intertwined.
And the cemetery I thought broke you too.
Oh, because
at
I was
first you're like,
terrified
are we
of
gonna,
cemeteries.
why are we gonna live by this
Because in
cemetery?
Akron, you went to the Jewish cemetery
Yeah.
on Swartz by
Yeah.
my mom's.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the thing. You just
Yeah.
get dropped off in a cemetery.
Yeah.
Remember, you would drive me by it, and I'd be like, I can't even look.
Yeah.
I have heart palpitation. No,
See, we always played in there, and that was the shortcut when we were riding bikes as a kid.
Yeah,
You
no.
could stop and get a drink of water.
Now it is my favorite place.
It's beautiful. It's
I
awesome.
sometimes,
I love it.
some type of way out there, I have a favorite tree, and I sit
Yeah.
there and I
Yeah.
watch the sun go
Yeah.
down. Actually, the
I
sun
have a
will go
favorite
up.
tree also, but it's different. So
Yeah. And now they're falling down. I'm getting nervous that my tree's going to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it. I mean, I love the town now.
it was
It's
just
very
funny that
cool.
you never I'm sure you never saw yourself doing, and I never saw myself doing this either.
Yeah.
Which is funny how life turns and
How,
takes you to where now I'm a soccer coach and a cook and a chef.
yeah. Are you mad at that?
No, absolutely not. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
yeah.
I know.
It's fantastic.
I know. Well, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks.
The question that I'll be asking everybody is
Get better candy next time. No, I'm kidding.
no. No. I mean, yeah, I mean, I
Choose
wasn't-
different. That was a bad choice
yeah,
on me.
so what Jet's saying is the slide. Did I just called you Jet? Oh, it's time to go.
Yeah.
You rate this. What do the kids do on the YouTube?
I don't know.
They rate the candy.
If it was cherry, it might be all right.
Okay.
Blue raspberry.
Well, what you let the folks know what you have going on in the community before we wrap this up.
got practice Friday night.
Where at?
Middle school.
That's so cool.
It's Footsville to middle school.
I'll be there. I
yep.
think. Yeah.
Got a game Saturday, I think,
Yeah.
or Sunday.
Who we
one of the
playing?
two. Some team that's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
and
else you
that's
got
it.
going on? That's it?
Well, I was planning on making breakfast today, but somebody jumped the gun and made toast.
Yeah.
So I'll have to wait for tomorrow. But
Yeah.
tomorrow I'll make breakfast. Hopefully
Perfect.
get some dinner tonight, and we'll see what's on.
Yeah. Thanks for being on my
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.